Everything I learned in anger management. Hop back on some east side banning shit and push a nigga's top back when I let the cannon spit. Start planning shit, premeditation. I'm in love with the streets again, rededication. Casket or cremation when I shoot.
Basically, I probably shouldn't talk about it.
Okay, well then
she didn't get in trouble.
So we don't want, we don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
But basically, just you got her to do your bidding.
Yes, absolutely. And as a result, I did 9 months in the hole after that on an investigation. They basically tortured me. And that was at C.M.C. and it was a really rough experience. She got walked off, I got walked off, and I was in the hole for 9 months on that one.
So when you say she got walked off, you're speaking on, I guess, the
their
ISU.
union, yeah, ISU came, rushed us both, walked her off grounds, and she resigned that day, and then put me in the hole, and I was under investigation.
So then she resigned from being a guard.
Yeah,
period.
that's
Okay.
their union allows them to do that. Their union allows them to resign and face no criminal conviction or consequences.
Right. So basically, you were under suspicion of doing something that you shouldn't have. Basically, over familiarity at least with a guard.
Absolutely.
In some shape and form.
Absolutely.
Now, so had you seen that a lot? Had you seen a lot of inmates where
it happens a lot.
they get cool with the guard and they get the guard to bring in things? And why do they get the guards to bring in things? Like,
because the guards don't have, like, they don't really get searched when they go in. They have a lot of leeway, and most guards, I mean, they make a lot of money, but they want to make more. So a phone will be, you know, a $50 Go phone will be $1,000 in prison.
Right.
What guard wouldn't want to invest in that, right?
Right.
So we'll give you the box, you load it up, bring it in, and at the end of the day, you got a couple $1,000s for you, several $1,000s for me. All is fine and dandy.
and so and a guard can do that maybe in a day he can bring in maybe 4 or 5 phones, make a quick 3,000.
Yeah, absolutely.
Quick.
And that's he doesn't even need to do more than that. But most of the time, where they get caught up is they do more than that.
Right.
They keep going. They keep
Greed,
trying to push the
like any other person. The greed kicks in.
Anybody,
because the markup is so exponentially more than what you would get on the street. Like I say, maybe a $2 pouch of tobacco goes for $50, $100
Yep.
in prison.
Absolutely.
Now I heard you mention C.M.C. For those of you guys who don't know, and we get sometimes a lot of controversy about C.M.C. C.M.C. is basically what's known as California Men's Colony, and it's a prison that's real. It's unique, and so
It's like a college campus.
it's like a college campus. I think it initially was designed to be like an army barracks or something way back in the 40s or the 50s, and they converted it to a prison at some point in time. But okay, so now I know for the black inmates, for the Asian inmates, and the Paisas, it's cool for us to go to C.M.C. You know, there's a lot of flack on C.M.C. C.M.C. was never a SNY prison, but it was a prison that it wasn't as much structure and certain things going on. So what was C.M.C.?
It was not good for white folks.
So for white people and Hispanics,
Hispanics,
you guys were forbidden to go there. So what was,
unless someone could get a tip, which means someone who you're tied in with from the Aryan Brotherhood or the Mexican Mafia, and if you're tied in with those people, then you can get either a pass or make money there.
Right.
So that was the avenue I went. I said, I'm going to make some money. This is what I want to do, and I got a pass, and I was able to make it good for white people to go there.
Right. So it was, because I know that for blacks it was okay for us to go there. And so what was your experience? Did you at C.M.C. was it was the
trippy.
money making, was it good? Was it
It
cool?
was, but the cops were hella petty. The money making was really good. There was a lot of people telling, but the cops were incredibly petty. They were always like, I don't think they had a lot going on.
And they treated us like it was a privilege to be there.
Yeah, absolutely they did. They absolutely treated it like it was a privilege to be there. And so you had to really learn to navigate around all of that stuff. Try to be super discreet, humble, calm, and that way they wouldn't pay attention to you. But if they got like an idea that you were up to something, that's all they had to do was just fuck with people. That's all they did. They come on for 8 hours. There'd be a shift of 3, and they'd be like, "We're gonna fuck with this person now. We're gonna fuck with this person now." So that was it was. I still made good money there. I made good money there.
Right. Now I know at one point in time in 2000, I believe it was 2011, I had a cell phone. I ended up getting caught with the cell phone, and I was moved from C.M.C. to I think it was North Kern.
Okay.
Now a lot of the Hispanics and the whites that were there they were going to that prison, and they were being attacked for being at C.M.C.
Yep.
Now why was that?
That's because until you are within the scope of like something that I was doing, which was making it good for a certain group of people, making it good for white folk to come there, until you're like in with that, meaning you've gotten cleared, you've done something to clean up being there, you've gotten moved on, then you can't be okay anywhere else.
Right.
And so there's a whole process that it takes. You got to get boobopped, you got to do some work, and then you can be good.
Right. So after all that happened, you're considered good again.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And so how long did you end up staying at C.M.C.?
I was there for about just under 2 years, I think.
Years.
Yeah.
So
And then I did my 9 months in the hole, and I went to CTF.
CTF, is that the fire camp?
No, that's correctional training for Soledad.
Oh,
Soledad
okay,
Central.
Soledad.
Yeah.
Okay, Soledad.
Yeah.
So what was it like there? Did you continue to like quote unquote fuck up? Or?
I did. I fucked up I was at CTF for like 4 years. There's a lot of groups at CTF. It was a super group heavy prison.
So when you say groups, what
like
are groups?
rehabilitative groups. They ran like training courses for leaders, coaches. They did a lot of AA, NA stuff there. They had like success stories, the organization I work for now. They had a lot of different variety of programs that people could participate in. I stayed away from all that stuff for like 2 years.
Right.
And then like eventually I was on C status and I'm like, I need to get out of my cell. I went to a group.
So what's C status?
C status is where they take everything out of your cell for a period of time based on a 115. I got caught with a phone. So they take like your TV, they keep you in your cell. You only get like 2 hours a yard a day, if that, maybe an hour. You have no phone calls. It's like restricted status. And that was what I was on. And I was like, I'll just go to a group to get out of my cell because I don't want to sit here and stare at the fucking walls. And that was when I started attending groups more. I just dug into the conversation. There was a lot of people who were really like deeply engaged in working on themselves, and that was something that was new to me. In the prison system, you don't see that a lot, right?
Right.
But all of these people here were just deeply invested in the community and in trying to transform a culture into something where people could go home from here. People could, like lifers were going home, people could, invest in themselves and figure out what they want in their future instead of just coming back. And I really dug into that conversation.